As an INFJ, it's incredibly important to feel that spark in your life, to feel like you're living life on your terms. You feel like you're tapping into your potential and you're leaning into your purpose. For some people, this might not be that important. For us, it is. And if we're missing that purpose, if we're missing that drive, if we're missing our North Star, we can get very depressed and nothing ever makes sense. So today, I want to talk to you about 5 essential practices that will make the difference for you. Once you start tapping into them, you will see a shift in your life like you've never had before. And it's not that it will work once you do this once, it is something that has to become part of your identity. So if you want some help with this, first off, download the free checklist on your 2025 goals as an INFJ. It will help you to first define what you want. And as a second step, if you want to be in an environment that reminds you where you want to go, what you want to achieve, that reflects the energy of being in that space continuously, so it just becomes a natural process of adapting yourself to all of that, then join our bootcamp community. We have our first live call of this month, tomorrow, January 25th. Everything you need to know, you can find in a link in the description. I see you there. The first practice we have to hone into is to set healthy boundaries. And till this day, this is something I continuously work on. It's something that we work on in bootcamp also on a regular basis, because setting boundaries and keeping them there is extremely difficult for us INFJs. It is something that comes easier to most other people, but at the same time, if you as an INFJ master this, and with mastering this, I mean you continuously get better at this, you will win big time. Because I can say something like 80% of our problems come from the fact that we focus on people who are not giving us the respect that we deserve, who are not giving us the attention that we deserve, who are not giving us the energy or the direction that we deserve. It's from people putting us down or making us second guess ourselves. If you think about it, how much of your time is spent thinking about people that are not making your life better? And I can tell you, as somebody who's been working on this actively for over 10 years now, there's always room for improvement. And there are always new situations that show you, okay, I could have worked on my boundaries a little bit more here. Setting boundaries is a practice. It's about continuously looking into your life and looking into your relationships. When it comes to your family, friends, coworkers, acquaintances, whatever it may be, all of those relationships can make or break you. And for us, so often, it's all about leaning into hermit mode, because when you're alone, you don't really have to worry about that. And we have to find a middle ground, because being all by ourselves is not fulfilling either. It's stepping into the world and continuously confronting all those limiting beliefs that tell us, you should be understanding of the other person more than you should be understanding of yourself. And that's what we have to change. And it is a practice. This is not just about mindset work. This is about having difficult conversations, saying no when you don't want to do things, although you know the other person will have a problem with it. The more you practice this, the more you will see how you will get used to a new level of feeling good, and you won't allow people to take away from that. The better you feel, the more aware you'll feel when people are crossing this. And having accountability of, oh, I did set those boundaries. I talked to that one person. I said this when I know it felt uncomfortable, but I did it anyway, makes the biggest difference. And this again is something we do in bootcamp. So come on, join us and make this a non-negotiable in your life. Essential practice number 2 is understanding that empathy is a superpower. Empathy is all about putting yourself in another person's shoes, but only from a perspective of my cup of energy is overflowing. I'm here to pull other people up. I'm not here to go into the depths with you and suffer with you when we're both going to drown, and I'm going to make you feel like you're not alone. I get that this is something we're able to do, and it's totally okay to go there in order to show the person, I see where you're at. I know what you're going through. But it's even more important to know that you're not a bad person when you cut that connection off, when you detach, when you make sure that you are at your best energetically, that you feel excited about life. And through that, you actually allow other people to see what it means to choose oneself. That is the truest form of empathy as a superpower, being able to do both, being able to go into their world and also being able to stand firm in what is best for you, not just for you, but also as a gift to others in a way of, let me show you what it means to choose oneself. And this is not something that comes easy at first, not at all, because it really means that you're willing to detach yourself, you're willing to stand alone, even though people won't understand it, even though most people won't be able to really be at that good of a space as you are at, but that you make that choice knowing that this is not only in your best interest, but also in everybody else around you. Number 3, prioritize self-care without guilt. And when I say self-care, I'm not talking about, okay, I'm going to sit on the couch and eat chips and binge watch TV shows. That doesn't mean I'm going to allow myself to overindulge in social media or anything of the sort. Self-care means I'm not going to put too much on my plate, but I also prioritize what matters to me. I always say, as INFJs, we don't have to do all the things, we just have to do the right things. And one of the things we focus on in bootcamp when it comes to Pillar 5, priority management, is focus on what is important more than what is urgent. Because that is all about my self-care means I'm not going to overextend myself. I'm going to focus on slow is smooth, smooth is fast. But I'm also going to turn and prioritize the steps in my life that are going to make the biggest difference there. I'm going to see results of my self-care. I'm going to make sure that I put myself and the creation of my INFJ epic life is my biggest goal. We're not going to put our first priority on other people. We're not going to put our first priority on a material goal. No, we're going to put our priority on growth, on health, and on making sure that we are at our best, because only then we can be the best for the people around us as well. And everything else comes true as a byproduct. Number 4, master emotional regulation. And I think this is a tricky one because we as INFJs, we have a vast capacity of dealing with other people's emotions, and we also have a vast capacity of dealing with our own emotions. So there is a joy in allowing and experiencing a wide range of emotions, and very often this makes us feel alive. But it's also necessary to understand that after all, we're still human, meaning that we too can overextend ourselves when it comes to how much we indulge in our feelings, how much we indulge in other people's feelings. And once you become aware of that, you can actually allow yourself to say, I'm going to stay away from that. No matter how much I try, I'm not going to stay cold in certain situations. I'm going to be emotionally vulnerable. I will have understanding for another person. I will feel for another person. I will want to stay in certain situations that aren't healthy for me because I'm emotionally invested. And again, just because we have a huge threshold when it comes to this, that doesn't mean that we don't have any limits. And the more we understand this, the more we can prioritize to stay in a range that is healthy, exciting, and still allows us to make very clear choices on what is going to make us happy, not only long term, but also in the present. Once you're in that state, at first it might feel boring, but then you start creating things that get you excited every day, that make you feel like you have that spark in your life, that excitement. You're back in those days where everything was possible, and it's all happening because you stay in a lane that allows you to regulate yourself whenever it's necessary. And number 5 is align your vision with action. I always say we as INFJs, we don't need more mindset work. We need to take inspired action. We need to take action towards the life we want. And so often we're overwhelmed. So often we feel like it's not going to make a difference. But it's not going to make a difference if we take action steps in a direction that we know isn't going to make us happy. So for example, you're in the corporate world and you know, okay, no matter what I continue to do here, how much work I put into this, the best thing that could happen is that I'm going to get into a higher position at this firm. And I know I'm not actually allowing myself to be myself here. I have to alter myself too much. This is not what makes me happy. So why should I even put more effort into it? I get that. But that is not what I'm talking about. Taking steps towards the life that you know you're supposed to be living. It might not be perfect. It might not be everything that you always wanted, but it's based on reality and it's creating a life that gets closer and closer to your vision. This is something that we can learn. I know the feeling of living a life where you feel like it's all happening outside of your realm. Everybody else seems to be living whatever they want to live, and I'm the one who's just an observer. That doesn't have to be our destiny. We can take steps every single day, every single week, every single month, no matter how small they are. They are leading us towards the life we want to live. And we don't want to overcomplicate that. That's why the 5 pillars are so essential for us, because they allow us to focus on each area that is a necessary component in order to grow into the person that we want to be. The goals checklist is based on the 5 pillars. You will also see the 5 pillars explained in the checklist. And we have so much video material on those 5 pillars within Bootcamp as well. So everything that I do, even with my one-on-one clients, is all based on those 5 pillars. And those 5 pillars are all about taking action. We need externally observable facts that show us that we're making progress, because we as INFJs have a hard time distinguishing between, is this just in my head or is this in reality? But when we always have the possibility to double check, am I making externally observable facts happen? Do I have something that I could theoretically tell a friend and they could observe? You're golden. You're going into the right direction. A great example of this would be, being just in your mind is, oh, I had some great ideas about the new novel I want to write or where I might want to live. An externally observable fact is, I did write a paragraph this Saturday. I did find 3 possible apartments that I'm going to look at this weekend, and I showed my friend these. These are externally observable facts that continuously help you to lean more into the life you want to live and that you're in control of. Remember, if you want to take continuously externally observable steps towards the life you want to live, then join our INFJ Epic Life Bootcamp, because there you're constantly surrounded by INFJs taking those steps. You see the results in others. It inspires you to keep on taking steps, and we learn the art of taking those steps as an INFJ, because very often we feel stuck, and it's all about an identity change and about taking small steps that really teach you how to be able and how to prioritize yourself. So one last time, I warmly invite you to join us on our first live call this year. It's going to be January 25th. So if you're watching this video while it's coming out, it's going to be tomorrow. Everything that you might want to know, you can find through the link in the description. I see you there. And if you want to watch a video now that is in alignment with today's topic, then check out the video you see on the screen right now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.